let's talk a bit more about Babble, because once you've bought these other businesses, 19 acquisitions, how do you go about integrate them into one company, one message? You mentioned tomorrow. Is it tomorrow you're having Babble Fest? Tomorrow. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking 250 people that you've acquired businesses in COVID that you might not have met, or half the staff might not have met, or not been managed, and then they've been bashed together, and then suddenly you're thinking 250 people from different businesses. How do you go about integrating them and having one culture?
So, how do you integrate them? You integrate them by doing things, by communicating with people, by being open with them, by telling them what the experience is going to feel like, and then to the best of your abilities, you do what you said you're going to do. So we do, and we are getting better at this all the time. But every time we do one, we think, well, I wish we'd done that a bit differently. Right. Well, I wish we'd organised. So, I try and be in a room with all of the employees of the acquired business as soon as possible after the deal's completed. And I tell them, this is why we only buy high quality businesses. We only buy high quality businesses that fit. We only buy high quality businesses that fit from people that we like, and this is why it's important to. And the vast majority of the people in the businesses that we acquire stay with Babble. We're in an environment where anything between 10 and 20% staff attrition is a good number. So the reality is, we know we've got people leaving, we've got people coming in, and we feed our talent pipeline internally through the people that in the businesses that we acquire. So we have an absolute recruit internally first. You must, if you want to bring somebody in externally, you need to explain to me why there is nobody in that 250 people that could do that job. And that's not a 10-second conversation. Well, let's go through why. And and it happens, we hire people externally, but the vast majority of people we move internally, and we sell people a genuine story around personal development and involvement in the business, and the fact that the vast majority of people who join us, and there are exceptions, some people we acquire and they just don't want to be there. There are some people that we acquire that we don't want them there, but the vast majority, I think out of all of those acquisitions that we've talked about in the last 19 months, I think we've made three or four people who we've said, look, this isn't going to work. And that's how, out of 150 people that we brought in. So we tell them a story about what we're trying to build. We talk to them about, or I talk to them, but so does everybody else talks to them about, right, okay, here's our purpose statement for Babble. We want to build an organisation that people love working for, and they would love their children, their siblings, their parents, their friends to work for. And if we can do that, we will build a great business. So we build a fantastic organisation that people love working for, they'll be happy for their kids to work for. And if we do that, we will build a great business. And that's the why, and this is what you get. And the point is, if we build a great business, there will be opportunities for you if that's what you want. And some people are ambitious and some people aren't. If you think about diversity and think about different types of diversity, you think about diversity of protected characteristics and how absolutely fundamental that is to doing the right thing in fairness. But you also have diversity of opinion, you have diversity of ambition, you have diversity of, the no end of things, diversity of diversity. And making sure people understand that, we are a melting pot of different personalities. We have introverts and extroverts in our business. We have quiet people and noisy people. We have people who feel very strongly at one end of the spectrum about what happened around the pandemic, and people are very strongly at the other end of the spectrum. And I spend a fair amount of time talking about the fact that I have a view on something. Okay, this is my opinion. Okay. If you have a different opinion on that doesn't make me wrong and you right, or vice versa. It just doesn't. We just have a different view, and that's okay. That's, and if we all had the same opinion on everything all the time, it would be we'd live in a dull world. I suspect that the evolution of humans would go backwards if we all believed the same things all the time. So, and we encourage that level of diverse thinking, and we applaud it, and you're allowed to have a view. Every single member of staff and every single one of our customers has my personal mobile phone number. And if you want to talk to me, the best thing to do is call my mobile. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. I don't screen calls. We were coming out of the coffee shop earlier, and a phone call came in from a phone number that said Highland, and I thought, right, that's Inverness. I wonder, somebody trying to sell me crypto. That was a really short conversation. I was like, look, I'm not interested, but thanks for calling. But that could be a customer, and and I probably get a call from a customer every 2 or 3 weeks. So we send there's a message goes out very early on from my email address to every customer that we acquired that says, we acquired this business. It's my job and our job to make sure that that's a positive experience for you. And here's my mobile phone number.
Right.
And I get, once in a blue moon, I get a phone call. And going back to the integration piece. So telling people what's going to happen and then doing it. We try and get people from across our organisation to spend time with the staff as quickly as possible, and we go to them. So Essex, like the last 2 weeks in Essex, there's been 2 or 3 Babble people in the office every day. Just, we got a couple of the sales guys to go and sit and work from there, some of the senior team, and that thinking's evolved. We've realised that we're going to take, we've had Yorkshire Telecom, ADSI, and Active Business Communications, and all of those staff are going to meet the rest of the Babble team within 3 months of the deal. But if you're the month after Babble Fest, when do you get to see people? We're saying, right, so now we're going to do mini Babble. Whenever we do an acquisition, if we've got 20 staff there, we will take 20 people from Babble from all over the UK, and the following week we'll get them in and we'll all go out for dinner and we'll all go and spend some time together. And just evolving and developing on that sort of stuff.
Great. Well, I'm very conscious of time, Matt, for you, because I know we promised I'd get a fine stop for you. But my last question is, what's the next view for the next 12 months for Babble? More acquisitions, and what's your plan for the next sort of 12 months?
It's more acquisitions. This double the size of the business every 18 months. We are one of the very few people in our space that are growing our business organically, and our organic growth is supported in part by acquisitions and adding new customers. And we've got a very clear plan around how we execute on that sort of thing. But I said at the start of this year, we did 9 deals last year. So we'll do more than 9 this year. I think that's what will happen. I suspect we'll do more than that, and that means we need to do more than that next year, and the average size needs to be bigger. But we will, our 18 months since Graphite invested, taking us to May this year, we doubled the size of the business. That means by the end of next year, we need to have doubled it again. And we need a very clear view, how are we going to double it again in the next 18 months? So rethinking how, for me, one of the most interesting and the most taxing parts of my job is trying to work out, what does the organisation need to look like today to allow us to run a business that's twice the size it is? And it's almost as soon as you've done that, you need to start again, because you
planning never stops.
Yeah, you just start again, and it's fascinating, it's entertaining, it's great fun. I love what I do, and I'm going from here into London. I've got a meeting with somebody about some operating platform stuff around tech, around unstructured data and things. And you just and dinner with an ex-investor in the business who wants to understand where we're going, what we're doing, what we're thinking about, life. It's. I can think of much duller ways to be spending my time. I think is probably the answer.
Matt, you've been a fabulous guest. Thanks so much for your time.
Not at all. It's nice to meet you. Thank you.